Hey guys, this is my follow-up review to the Apple Watch. I thought I'd point out some bugs, issues, and what I found after almost a week with it. I received mine on launch day, and I'm still using it daily. It's a great watch. The biggest issues that I've had so far is that while a little difficult to reproduce, when you bring the watch up sometimes to use Siri, if the screen is about to time out and you say the command word, "Hey Siri," it'll have a tendency to dim the screen while still keeping Siri active, but she won't be able to do anything. It falls into like this loop where the screen is half lit. You can see that Siri's waiting for input, but the screen is at, the brightness is probably at about 50%. I'm not really sure exactly what that is. A minor bug where Siri's activating, but the watch is essentially in standby mode. So that's a little bit of an annoyance, but again, a little difficult to reproduce. I don't think that's going to affect too many people. My second issue is the fact that when you're using Workout, you can go into Workout and you can set what you're doing, what you want to do in Workout, and like for example the elliptical. So I'd set the elliptical, and I found that when I got on ellipticals that didn't use your arms, you'd get a few minutes into the exercise and it would randomly pause and not reactivate. So you'd be 2 minutes in and it would pause itself. It gives you no notification of that fact. So there you are 10 minutes later, you look at your watch and you've only done 2 minutes of working out as per the watch. That's a major annoyance, especially for people who are fitness focused. And I've found that it actually has happened on ellipticals that do use your arms on occasion. I haven't seen it happen on the rower yet, but it's enough to be annoying. My third issue, it was the, if you recall on my first review, that I couldn't get pictures to show up here in favorites. Now I did finally fix that, but what I had to do was remove the favorites or list of people from the Apple Watch through the companion app and re-add them. I had to delete all of them and kind of start fresh. So that's a big enough issue where Apple should probably look into it. And let's see, the battery life is nowhere near as bad as it's been made out to be. I've gone an entire day from 7 a.m. till last night. I think I finally took it off at around 1 a.m. and I still had about 50% battery life left. So I'm not really sure where the reports of abysmal battery life are coming from, unless it's a specific app that's causing it. Mine's pretty bare. As you can see, I don't really have anything that's aftermarket per se, except for maybe my bank app and Shazam and a few Microsoft apps. The faces, they're okay. This one's probably the most informative, the modular. The only problem is they're a bit boring. The jellyfish is pretty cool, but my complaint with the jellyfish, as you can see, you wait, and you finally see your jellyfish. So by the time you've raised your watch, looked at the time and your notifications, the jellyfish hasn't even been drawn yet. Why? It should just stay active, but instead when you deactivate the watch and reactivate it, it redraws the jellyfish. I don't really get that. My last complaint is, obviously the lack of third-party faces. But I understand why Apple isn't making that commonplace. They don't want to open that can of worms for copyright infringement. But they are reportedly working on some new faces, which I hope so, because one of them is fucking Mickey Mouse. I don't want Mickey Mouse on my wrist. There's no appeal there for me. I'm sure there would be for a 12-year-old girl, but not for your average person who can actually afford this thing. That is probably the sum of the issues that I've had. you know, other than the bands just being at that spot where they're in between, you know, this is too tight, this is too loose kind of thing. But that's just all this band specifically and my wrist. That's not really Apple's fault. Your hand will occasionally hit these buttons, as you can see. You can flip the watch around, put the crown over here, but then it's kind of awkward to use. So I don't really know how practical that is. Plus you have to switch the band itself to the other side. So it's a little complex, but at the same time, I'm sure it could quickly be gotten used to. Other than that, it's been a great watch. Oh, one thing I did forget to mention. I've noticed that the watch will mute itself. It won't show mute here, but when you go into your settings here and look in your sound and haptics, sometimes mute will be on, and you'll have no idea why. I thought it was because I was putting my phone in silent mode. You know, mirroring the phone. That would make logical sense. The problem is that when my phone's out of silent mode and back in normal everyday mode, it doesn't seem to unmute itself, and I can't reproduce the issue when I want to. And as you can hear, I'm actually have an incoming call now, which brings me to the last issue. When you're on Wi-Fi calling with T-Mobile, you'll find that the call routing feature to here, or any kind of notification that you're getting a call, simply doesn't work. That is a major flaw. You know, just about everybody on T-Mobile uses Wi-Fi calling, as it's the only way we get service. I'll get a missed call notification, which is great, but it doesn't tell you that one's, you know, incoming. So you can be outside in the garden or you know, in the next room, and you may not hear that phone call, and then look down and see you have a missed call and wonder why. So there's definitely some software issues that need to be worked out here, and I would probably advise against waiting, or I'd probably advise to wait a little bit before committing to buy one, just because some of those issues are kind of game breaking. But the heart rate monitor seems to be fairly accurate. The stair, you know, how many floors you've went up and down, that seems to be accurate. Obviously the time is accurate, which is good. It's really nice having a quick outlook of weather on your watch. Though I must confess that I probably look pretty ridiculous looking at this itty bitty screen in public, holding it up to my face. But there you go. There's the follow-up. That's what I've found that were the small issues that I feel need to be addressed. I can't help but feel like the watch, it just comes across as almost like Google Glass, not quite ready for mainstream. It feels like an Explorer edition, and that's just my opinion. I feel like it could have stood a little bit more R&D before being released. That said, if you really want to get one, well, I'd say go to Apple Store and buy one, but that really doesn't work. So just get in line and hope for the best.